Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Civilization 6, where we are playing with a couple of mods, Better Balanced Game and Better Balanced Starts. We're going to be playing as Norway because they get buffed in this mod, and I thought it would be really fun to play them. Shout out to Wands for giving me the idea for this. And we're going to be going up against a host of navally dominant civs on an Archipelago Plus map. Links in the description if you want to check out the mods. Otherwise, let's just get into it. Hey, you. Yeah, that's right, you. Did you know that I'm launching a plushie on Makeship? And that it's a limited edition, limited time only available thing, and I need to sell 200 of them for any of them to ship? No, you didn't? Well, go ahead and check out the link in the description and linked in the comment of the video, and get yourself an exclusive, limited time only potato plush, which some of the proceeds go towards supporting me and my channel, and you end up with a beautiful little plush. Here's some pictures of the plush in various places in my house. Here's a rabbit for scale. It's a beautiful, gorgeous little plush, and I would really appreciate it. If you guys want to, and you have the spare cash, grab a plush, because it's really cute. It's the first piece of merch I've ever done, and so I would love if it was a success. Back to the video. And this looks like a very nice little starting location. We do have a 2-2 tile, we have a 2-2 tile, we have a 2-2 tile, a 2-2 tile. A lot of options here. Now, in terms of where we would like to settle, I think on the stone is a pretty reasonable location, and that's for a very particular reason. It's because we're playing in the BBG Norway. Now, BBG Norway has a lot of nice buffs. Most importantly is harbours receive major adjacency bonus from holy sites, and holy sites receive standard adjacency bonus from coastal water tiles. What that means is we want to build our holy sites adjacent to water. As you can see, it gains +3 faith from being on the coast, which means if we put a harbour and a holy site and a city centre all together in a location, we can get +6 harbours. Now that is pretty damn juicy. So we have to kind of plan out our city a little bit. Now, they also get other bonuses like the stave churches, like all their stuff has been modified. But we'll worry about that in a little bit. I think we have to choose our starting tile. Now, in an ideal world, we definitely would like our harbour to be adjacent to this fish. However, we can, like theoretically, we can choose to not have the harbour adjacent to the fish, and we could choose to go in this kind of a configuration. Like, we can guarantee +5 harbour here pretty easily, and +5 harbour is pretty decent, because remember, we want that +5 harbour because eventually we will pick up shipyards that gives bonus production equal to the adjacency bonus of its districts. Plus, if we can manage to get a golden age and we take the free inquiry golden age, this will also count as science, so we can actually run away with the game pretty effectively here. The only issue that I see with settling in this location right here is that in order to place the holy site on stone, I would have to go all the way over here to masonry to harvest stone. So in my mind, that kind of tells me I might want to actually settle on the stone, and because it's a 2-2 tile and the second production is coming from a bonus resource, I will actually keep this, and this will be a 2-2 base tile, and I can work a 3-1-1 tile in my capital city and also be theoretically closer to some of these other resources. I think there's 2 major holy site locations here in my empire. It's either over here or over here, and then the harbour just obviously goes between them. I think in my mind, this harbour and holy site is slightly better because the holy site will have slightly better adjacency. However, this one is slightly better because I could go for a theoretical mausoleum of Halicarnassus, which would boost my capital up to a particular level. I'm not going to commit to either of these just yet, but these are the 2 possibilities that I have mapped out in my mind. So we're going to settle our capital city in place, make sure that we're working the 3 food, 1 production tile, because that will speed up how fast we grow. You can see here we grow in 3 turns. We're also playing on online speed, by the way. But yeah, if we work this tile, we'll grow a turn faster compared to working these other tiles, plus we end up with a little bit more gold. And we're also going to do a builder rush and go straight for sailing, because in the BBG mod, fishing boats give you +1 food and +1 production, which is a really efficient tile improvement for us to pick up. I definitely feel like the meta for a coastal start is to rush a builder and sailing. That just feels like the correct way to play to me. Even if you give up a little bit of scouting, we can always backfill for 1 scout and then go for our unique boat. There we go. We've unlocked the Viking longship as well as fishing boats, which is perfect. So we can come ahead and step in here and then go ahead. I need to turn off the auto builder lens because I don't like the builder lens. +1 food, +1 production. And now we've got a 4 food, 2 production, 1 gold tile already in this city. We do have the cash potential to buy the reef, and I will buy the reef because that's going to be another incredible tile over there. We also found the Lenkoi Marahensis, which is a 2 tile natural wonder, provides fresh water, +2 food, +3 production, or +3 culture, and +1 culture on desert plains if you own at least 1 of these tiles. Interesting. Could be a really interesting Petra city perhaps over here. Maybe not one of my first cities that I'll be settling, but definitely one of them. Now, our main opening strategy is going to involve going for holy sites as well as harbours because we are playing Norway, and holy sites in general are just really, really strong in my opinion. So going for faith is quite powerful. But also we want to go for these are just the two districts that Norway does really, really well. So that's why we're going to go for them. Essentially, we get really good adjacency on both of them based on being coastal. Additionally, they all just work with the kind of map type of the civ that we're playing. Right, there's Code of Laws. I would like to plug in God King as well as Discipline. Perfect. I'm plugging in God King so that I can get my Pantheon because I want to get Fishing Boat Pantheon for +1 production from fishing boats. I also got Discipline so that I can fight off barbarians more easily. And mostly what I'm looking for now is to gather era score. So I have a few options here. I think I will go for a second city really quick. Fast second city into holy sites seems reasonable. I will need to get mining. I think that's going to be important. And we'll go ahead and place down the fishing boat. There we go. 3 food, 2 production, 1 science tile. Perfect. That'll go up to hopefully now when we get our Pantheon in a reasonable amount of time. I kind of wish I'd started with pearls. It would have been really, really nice. We did find another continent. There's more era score. We're up to 4 era score, which is not ideal. I would like to improve a third tile. It could be the crabs. I think it would be ideal if I went and saved up to buy the crabs. There's mining. We're doing a little bit of scouting. I typically don't advocate going for double scout if you're on an archipelago map because the scouts just won't get efficient scouting done. There just isn't enough for them to find. But we're only a few turns from getting access to the crabs, and then we have 3 really, really strong fishing tiles in our game. We do have to make a decision about where to settle. I can't cut that down. Let's see. I can. I just need to wait 1 turn. I can buy that. I will put 1 turn into a Viking longship, perhaps 2, so I can finish it. The Viking longship will give me +4 era score and potentially open up a golden age opportunity to me, but I do need to get that holy site started ASAP. There may in fact be people earning holy site points. I'll start sending my settler to the west here because I'd like to find a place to settle. There's sometimes what I do is a good way to find where to settle is to just start mapping out good harbors. And based on where your harbor is, if you can get a +1 or +2 harbor, you can start to consider how will I settle around to get this really good harbor? This definitely feels like a Petra city, like a high culture Petra style city. But I think my main emphasis is going to be on coastal gameplay. We're also going to go ahead and unlock the harbor. We would like to build a harbor this era, if at all possible, especially a high adjacency harbor. And I think I'm starting to lean towards moving this harbor down a tile because +4 adjacency on a holy site will actually get me a bonus, I believe. If I go into my era tracker, and I check my thingy here. Oh, it's a bonus of 3 or higher actually, and for harbors it's 4 or higher. So I could actually leave the door open for coastal wonders by going here on the left. So I am going to make that decision. I will need to research pottery though, which is a little bit unfortunate, the timing on that. So I'll probably go double longship while I get pottery. I made the wrong decision. It's okay. We make small mistakes, small suboptimal mistakes every now and again. There's +2 era score for getting the first seafaring unit, +4 era score for getting our unique unit. You always get 4 era score the first time you build your unique unit. We also have foreign trade, so I can plug in maritime industries to be able to build this ship ever so slightly faster. I do automatically already have a 50% production bonus towards naval melee units, and naval melee units can perform coastal raids. So we would like to look potentially for a coastal raid or 2, or perhaps an early war with our coastal raiding ships. It looks like 1 great prophet has already gone. Somebody has managed to recruit it. I would love to get work ethic this game because I feel like work ethic would work extremely well with my build. Let's go ahead and purchase the crabs. We'll go ahead and improve the crabs. I still don't have a Pantheon. That'll be a little bit of a while until we grab that. Now I'm starting to map out the potential here. I would like my holy sites to go on tiles with a large amount of coast adjacent to them. So in my mind, holy sites would look well here. That's 3 +4. Ideally, I think I would like +4 adjacency. I will live with 3, but if I could get 4, it would be ideal. I'm thinking perhaps I could settle on this location here, put my holy site right there, and then that leaves me in relatively good order. Could I shift this around at all? Not really. This is the best way to get high adjacency on my district, so I'm going to leave it at that, and that's where we'll go. We have our second Viking longship out, and our hope is to use these to find other players to get era score. We've also found Johannesburg. That's actually quite a nice one to find. +1 production for every improved resource type. Also getting industrialization, that becomes +2. And additionally, Johannesburg also gives me +1 production in my capital when I'm building buildings, which will be essentially right now. Because I just finished pottery, which means I can start placing my holy site and produce that and start getting my great profits. Because the very first great profit has already been taken. So we need to be competitive. So we definitely want to get celestial navigation in order to get access to harbors. And it is going to be a fairly fast era here. We're going to be heading into the next one. So I need to get that city settled. We have met the Maori. It's an honor to meet you. We can exchange. He looks like he settled a 1-tile island as his capital. We are playing on deity, right? Yes, we are. Okay. It's like his stats seem a little bit weak for deity, but ooh, damn, I'm going to miss out that tribal village. That would have been really, really nice for the era score. Sag will not get it. So I think the best thing for me to do is to ascend my Viking longships in opposite directions to set up a potential circumnavigate later on in the game. There's the holy site with the +3 era score. Perfect. I think I just need to meet a player and found a religion and maybe build a high adjacency harbour, and we should have a golden age secured with a relatively strong faith per turn economy, which will naturally lead itself into monumentality, and then monumentality should naturally lead itself into a, what do you call it, a free inquiry, expansion, all that sort of jazz. Yeah, it'll all work out the way that we want it to, if we follow the build, if we follow the faith. Now, I haven't really decided what my win condition for this game is, but I know how I'm going to play. We've also met Samarkand. Samarkand is quite nice. It's trading domes, +2 gold, and +1 gold for every adjacent luxury resource. Your outgoing international trade routes gain +1 gold per trading dome at the origin. Quite handy. They have a request to recruit a great prophet, which is really nice. They're going to get up really, really high. Could potentially get suzerainty. If I were to research mysticism right now, I could use suzerainty to finish this. Yeah, let's go for mysticism. Get suzerainty of Johannesburg. That way I can first seize them and use their scouting information to potentially find more people and get more era score. That seems like a totally reasonable thing to do for me. I should have changed my government. I should have plugged in urban planning and discipline. We'll get that plugged in shortly. There's Gatarja. Very nice to meet you. We are going to be going up against a lot of naval civs and a lot of trading civs. So we're going to run into some issues here. And I think we can found our pantheon. We definitely want fishboat pantheon. Perfect. There's +1 production on our fishing boats, and already our fishing tiles are starting to pop off. Look at that. 3 food, 3 production, 4 food, 3 production, and 2 food, 2 production. Very, very nice tiles. These are wonderful tiles. We are going to do 2 holy site prayers in order to secure. We probably actually only need to do 1 holy site prayer in order to secure a religion. We've been quite happy about that. Why am I getting an extra holy site prayer point? Huh. Is that a Norway thing? Let me have a look here. Let's see here. Holy sites, major adjacency, units embarking. I'm not seeing Norway get extra points, so I'm not sure where I'm getting 2 great profit points per turn. No. Did I already do a holy site pair? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm misremembering what the hell I just did. I don't know. I really don't know why I have so many points. I'm not going to question it though. Never look a gift point in the mouth. So 9 turns until the era ends. I think we can secure a golden age without going for mysticism. We can just make our way towards political philosophy for the next era. I don't really have much to do with this scout except for to kind of like test the waters with a little bit of scouting. Now the one downside of Viking longships is, yes, they can pillage coastal tiles. However, that doesn't mean they can attack coastal tiles. So we will now recruit our great prophet, and we have secured a golden age, which is perfect. So I may stop scouting with my Viking longships in order to preserve exploration points, like from exploring, like golden age points for the next era. Just kind of bank them. We have the holy site prayers down. I think we would definitely like to get our monument and shrine down. The shrine is kind of more important to me right now because that's going to be the amount of faith that I generate is going to directly correlate to the amount of settlers that I can produce. So that just seems quite important to me. +1 era score for the start of the classical era. Perfect. We already have a golden age. I could delay founding a religion. However, how many great prophets have already... 3 great prophets have already been recruited, and this could be a good work ethic game. I'm going to go ahead and rename my religion. We will call it Boatman. Like Dayman. Hell yeah. Work ethic. I think work ethic appeals to me the most in this game right now. We're going to have high adjacency on our holy sites. The relatively high production could be translated into other things. My holy site adjacency isn't overwhelming, but it is relatively good. I'm going to be able to get 3 to 4 adjacency in every city, which will be 6 to 8 production in every city. That feels overwhelmingly powerful compared to Feed the World. I'm already in a coastal game. I'm going to have a ton of food coming from my harbors. I'm going to have a ton of food coming from my fishing boats. I don't need reliquaries. I don't need religious community. It is kind of fun to play religious community. Maybe as Portugal on this map, you would do that. I don't need Jesuit education. I don't need divine inspiration. I think this is a work ethic game through and through. And then the only real question that we have to ask ourselves is, what is the building that we want? And then what are the 2 supporting beliefs that we would want? If we were going for some kind of culture game, we could make lay ministry work, or go for stewardship and transition into some kind of a science game. I think maybe we'll go for like a naval air domination game. I haven't done that in a while. Or we could actually go for a religious victory. There's a rare religious victory as Norway. Do I want to do a religious victory as Norway? No, I feel like Norway is more interesting as a domination civ. So I might structure my religion in the direction of being a domination religion. Now, that would mean we want to get yields that support my win condition for a timing attack of some kind using boats. Pagodas are also incredibly strong in terms of a building, just because they allow you to basically control as many city-states as you want, which would be really handy in a domination game to have people that I can trade with in order to generate more gold. I am going to have a lot of trade routes, so having people that I can trade with and having control over city-states could theoretically give me a really powerful turnaround on this game. Pagodas are a part of the mod, Better Balanced Game, and I really like that they give you influence. It's kind of cool. It allows you to just generate a lot of envoys. So we're going to have to start thinking about our government plaza and our diplomatic quarter in the near future as well. So I think we're going to go ahead and get to work on getting shipbuilding. I'd like to be able to embark my units. There's also, things like great lighthouses, harbors, all these things that I want to get built. If I can build a couple of early game coastal wonders to boost my game, I think that would be a reasonable thing to do. There's early empire. We don't need to plug in the settler card. I'm going to take out maritime industries. I'm going to plug in discipline, and then I will also plug in urban planning so I can get that extra tiny little chunk of production across my cities. My religion is spreading slowly. I don't need the era score from building a harbor, so I'm just going to take my time to get the monument and granary to allow the city to grow, both in terms of population, but also in terms of tile spread. We have early empire. Now is the time to head towards state workforce. We can unlock the government plaza. We need the government plaza so we can get those juiced up government buildings that this mod introduces. We'll talk about those once we have them. And I do feel like if you're going for a faith game in this mod, Pingala is the science guy and Moksha is the culture guy. And I do feel like culture is kind of more important to me in the early game compared to science. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Moksha, partially also because he's the faith guy. He's going to give me a little trickle of faith as well. Theoretically, I could go to Connoisseur and then maybe Divine Architect. But I think at the very least, we should go to that level. And then maybe think about Magnus or Pingala, depending on how we want to transition into the next phase. I think I would like to kill a Barb in order to try and boost bronze working. So I will yoink this kill. That's one of the 3 kills that I need. We're up to 21 out of 19 era score. We want to try to avoid getting too much more era score. So I've kind of have my guys paused before I kill these Barb camps and stuff like that. There is actually a tribal village for me to pillage over here. I'll send my Viking longship over there to grab it. So the Oracle has been built by another player. A lot of these early game wonders we're just never going to get access to. And we just kind of have to accept that. Perfect. There's craftsmanship, which is well on the way to getting state workforce. We don't need to change our government. I'm relatively happy. Oh no, she stole the Barb kill. I couldn't see her units there. She like came out of the fog of war or something. Crazy. Well, she yoinked my era score. Not that it matters, because it was era score for the next era. We'll put 1 turn into a harbour, but we won't finish it. This city could definitely make use of a granary. It also really badly needs a builder. I'm going to go ahead and buy a builder in here, just because there's a lot of fishing boat tiles here that have yet to be improved. We'll go ahead and get the granary, which will allow the city to grow. Well, I should probably go monument into granary, because I'm about to get some housing from the fishing boats, which seems more reasonable to me. Right, let's make sure we don't finish the harbour, because we don't want to get that era score in this era. We want to save it for the next era. And look at these fishing boat tiles already. Even I don't even have my harbours built. I don't even have lighthouses. I don't have shipyards. My tiles are already insane. They're completely pogged out of control, which I love. I think I'm going to go for an early missionary. A, to convert my city, and B, to send down here to try and convert a couple of Indonesia's newly settled cities. If I can get my religion spreading to her early, that might give her a little bit of pause when she tries to come and deal with me, because she might go for her own religion. She tends to go for her own religion because she gets really good faith generation as a baseline. We're of course going for monumentality here. Now free inquiry will probably be our next golden age, if we can indeed get a golden age, but it will be our next if we can. We're probably going to go something like monumentality, free inquiry, monumentality, in that kind of an order, something to that effect, or maybe even monumentality, free inquiry, free inquiry. It all depends on the exact structure of how we want to do this. These golden age dedications have been changed for the BBG mod. You can see here, pen, brush, and voice now gives you 2 culture and 1 gold for each specialty district, up from 1 culture per specialty district. It has been buffed quite a bit, but we will go ahead and take monumentality and leave it there. And now that we're in a golden age, I can happily start earning new era score. So I'm going to immediately come in here and finish the harbour, and you are also working on these things. You go ahead and convert a city, and we can go back to exploring with our little boats to find out more about the world. Ideally, we would look for a circumnavigation, and I may want to get another 2 longships, because it looks like there's a lot of land to the north that I'm going to want to explore. We did just pick up 3 era score from building a harbour with adjacency 4 or higher. Perfect. And we also have access to the Colossus, as well as the government plaza. We kind of want all of those things. I would really like to build a Colossus for +1 trade route. Kind of tempted by it. In my mind, we need to go political philosophy into theology. If we could build Mahabodhi Temple, that would be really quite nice, because that would mean we'd be able to evangelize our religion, get era score from building a wonder, and yeah, okay. I feel like I definitely go lighthouse into Colossus here and just make the attempt. We finish the trader, Lighthouse Colossus, into Government Plaza type play, and then use our faith to generate. Yeah, I think I like that play. We definitely would like to get to mass production pretty early this game, so that's going to be like our main direction for our research. Campuses could be a reasonable direction to take things. I'm going to go level 2 on Moksha for that +1 culture per turn for each citizen in the city. That's because culture tends to be really, really important in the early game. It's how you unlock very important cards that change your government. In particular, things like +2 build charges, new governments. So like that little bit of an early boost to culture, I find just tends to make, like I'm going from 6.4 culture, boom, to 13.3. That puts me way more on par with the AI than I was before. And I think that just really suits me. Boom, another fishing boat, a 3-2-1 tile. I'm also going to come in here and buy that tile. We will convert Sarpsborg, Boatman Awa. It's such a silly name. And then we'll send this missionary down to go make friends with Indonesia. Probably not like a super optimal play, but it seems reasonable to me. Yeah, so the most important thing for me is to find a pathway through to the east. So let's have a look. How much does it cost me to buy settlers? 95 faith. Not too bad. I think I would like to send a trader from Sarpsborg to my capital in order to grow and produce in this city slightly faster. I do like that Norway can embark and disembark like at basically no movement cost. That seems like a really, really powerful ability. I don't know why, but I'm seeing like new abilities on this save that aren't like listed in its character sheet, making it kind of OP. The fact that we can go into these like tiles too. We found Hattusa. Let's get a friendship with you. Send her a delegation. We want to get a friendship so that we can avoid early war. And then I'll do mutual open borders with everyone I can find. Purely for the relationship boost. But if it ends up being the case where we can actually move around the map a little bit easier off the back of that relationship boost, I'm quite happy too. The AI is spamming a lot of boats. That's something I'm going to want to keep an eye on. We also have access to our tier 2 or tier 1 government, really. In terms of tier 1 government, I kind of like the idea of going for autocracy here. Classical Republic has a lot of value. +1 housing and +1 amenity and 15% great people points could translate into a lot of faith. That does appeal to me in a particular way. I do like the 10% production towards wonders, because if I combine that with a card, it'll be a 25% production towards wonders, 25% production towards wonders. I do plan at least building Colossus and Mausoleum. I'm pretty sure Mausoleum can't be on a hill. Let me just double check that. Oh no, it looks like it can be. Yeah, we definitely want this. We want Mausoleum. So I think in this particular game, I'm going to go for autocracy. Just because I'm doing wonder building. I'll plug in core V. I definitely feel like charismatic leader is a reasonable choice here. I think this government is relatively okay. I probably don't need urban planning. I think God King is worth more because the extra tiny little chunk of faith will translate into settlers, and settlers are the most important thing for me to acquire right now. Okay, we're breaking down this encampment, and you're going to trade with the capital for 2 food, 2 production. Ooh, 12 gold though. 12 gold though. 2 food, 2 production, or 12 gold. I think you have a hard time turning down 12 gold, especially because I just became suzerain of Samarkand. I have no idea why I'm suzerain. Did they have a mission? To send a trade route to who? Don't even know what to tell you, but I'm suzerain of Samarkand. Hell yeah. I can probably get suzerainty of Johannesburg if I very quickly research mysticism, and that'll be even more era score. It's one of my most important things now in the early game is to pick up era score. I don't know how far along. Yeah, we haven't explored much of the map in terms of breadth just yet. There's mysticism, perfect. That's +1 envoy. I immediately send it to Johannesburg. Boom, +2 era score from Johannesburg. And more importantly, it also reveals potential new scouting information. Annoyingly, Norway galleys don't highlight tribal villages, even though they can claim them. Okay, that barb camp is almost down, which is good. I'm worried about that quad. I might have to fight it. In terms of deals, I don't have any luxuries to sell. And I think we're just chooching along very happily. I would like to head towards Petra, partially also because this gives me the access to the diplomatic quarter. So I'm going to go ahead and research currency, even though I plan to build 0 commercial hubs this game. Now, that's just my plan. I may end up building commercial hubs. We shall see. It all depends on how the game shakes out. You could criticize me here for not building settlers, but I'm going to go for like really high quality cities rather than like a massive cities. I think that's kind of like a little bit more fun to me. I do need to take this barb camp, step into the defensive tile and then attack there. You grab that barb camp. Perfect. There's 3 era score. Amazing. We're almost already in a normal age. Next turn I can buy a settler. Hello Dido. Nice to meet you. Exchange information on our capitals. I'm going to send delegations to people now, because I do have the cash flow, and then immediately do open borders, and this will give us really, really high relationship with them. Colossus is only going to take 7 turns, so going for this government, well, shaved about 7 turns off. Or sorry, shaved about 3 turns off of a 10-turn build. So I think, maybe we made the right choice, especially because we're going to be going for multiple wonders. So there's a couple of quadrariums. If I get this kill, I'll be able to promote. And there's also bronze working boosted, which is quite nice. Every tech boost is always a nice advantage. Let's go ahead and convert Palembang. Perfect. So this will put a little bit of religious pressure on their cities. Not much, mind you. Can I sweep through? Lovely. Every little tiny bit of religious pressure, though, can make a slight difference. I'm sitting on some envoys. I don't want to spend envoys right now unless I switch charismatic leader for diplomatic league, so my envoys are doubled. Perfect. And then I can start to work on Buenos Aires. I put one in there. Then I just need to train a heavy chariot and I can get control. I can like start to get control of them. Industrial zone's not completely necessary for me, but they're in sort of like the direction we might go, at least in a couple of cities. A meteor just rained over here. We are going to go pick that up for sure. There's currency. We're going to get rid of this boat. Speaking of boats, we just lost the Colossus. That's fine. If I go for a government plaza right here, hold on. I'm pretty sure I could go... Yeah, I like this. I'll put the mausoleum right there, and instead I'll go for Government Plaza right here. And then this will boost my adjacency quite a bit. So I'll one-turn the Government Plaza. That's totally fine. A little bit sad that I missed out on the Colossus. I really wanted it, but we are just going to have to go for a fast mausoleum, potentially Mahabodhi. If I had Mahabodhi unlocked, I would have really liked that because I would have immediately transferred production into a temple or something. Sarpsborg has fully built its granary. We are definitely getting this. We're also placing our harbour. We need the extra faith. Oh, right. I totally forgot. We have placed the districts, which means I can now faith purchase a settler here. Perfect. This looks like a pretty reasonable place to put a city. There's not a huge amount of productive tiles, but if I can get a holy site in here, that's a +6 holy site. Quite good. +6 holy site, +6 harbour. These are heading in the direction of being really high quality cities. I would also like to settle a Petra city, so it'll be something like this, although I don't like that tile, but that is a freshwater tile. I might have to make a sacrifice. Nah, this is the best tile. I will... I could have done... if I had moved Sarpsborg like one tile in a different direction, if I'd swapped these two tiles in Sarpsborg, maybe I could have settled the salt and done this. And this would have been like a super good city. This would have been amazing. But I can't do that now, so I'm going to have to make a little bit of a compromise. And I think the compromise is that we just live without fresh water. I really don't want to kill a fishing tile, so that's kind of important that I don't kill that. Yeah, so this is going to be the compromise. The holy site will go here. The harbour will go there, and then the city itself will go there. Little bit of a compromise city, but it could theoretically be a really, really good Petra, if I can get the Petra in there. And which should be relatively easy if I can get the holy site up, which I might be able to use Moksha for. It all depends. It all kind of like depends. Now, my overwhelming faith gain isn't amazing. It's only okay. Right, there's the kill. Stave Church. There's 11 to 21 turns left. We already have Moksha. I could go for Divine Architect. I don't think I need to. We finished the Government Plaza, which means we can now choose between Warlord's Throne, which gives me a 25% production towards all naval and land military units and reduces the maintenance cost of units by 1. Or I could go for Ancestral Hall, which is a 50% increase to settler production in this city, and all new cities receive a free builder. That's relatively unchanged. Or we could go for Audience Chamber, which has been changed. It's +1 amenity, +2 food, and +3 housing in cities with governors. Now, eventually I will be going for some sort of militaristic place. A Warlord's Throne has some appeal here, especially because it'll make my units cheaper and like cheaper in production and gold, essentially. Audience Chamber. Stave Church. I think I need to build Stave Church. I really need governor titles. Am I going for Magnus? What am I chopping out if I go for Magnus? Mahabodhi. Yes. So if I'm going for Magnus, I'm putting him in the capital so that I can chop out Mahabodhi. I'll put you into Sarpsong for now. This way I can chop out Mahabodhi, so I'm going to go straight for Stave Church, and I'll faith purchase a builder. Mahabodhi's going to go on this tile right here, which means I need to buy it in Sarpsong because it's only 35 gold. If I buy it in Nidaros, it's 55 gold. So I'll buy it in the city that's closer to the tile and then immediately swap it to the city that I want to have the tile. And so the Mahabodhi is coming next. Also, look at that adjacency, 5 and 7, feels good. We're definitely plugging in scripture. This counts as production and faith. This is 8 production and 8 faith across my empire. So that's really, really nice. I'm not building a wonder right now, so I probably don't need Core V. I will just take urban planning, I think, and then switch back in charismatic leader for the +2 influence points per turn. Okay, I have no idea what that was. Like the unit pathing when you have free disembark is kind of a little bit wonky. All right, I need to talk to Japan and say open borders, my good friend. Thank you so much. 10 to 20 turns left in the era, which means we need to start getting a little bit worried about our era score. We need to get 20 era score. A lot of it's going to come from Mahabodhi Temple. We are discovering new continents and stuff like that too. I need to go pick up this meteor because that's worth a little bit of era score. I'm going to continue to explore with my missionary. I need more boats, definitely, but that Stave Church has to be finished. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the Stave Church because it's actually a really, really cool building. So the Stave Church gives +1 faith to each resource tile in the city and +1 production to each coastal resource tile in the city. And it just baseline gives +4 faith. So this is going to be a huge amount of faith to production coming in from this. I should totally think about chopping. I would like to get another settler though. So I'll probably go settler into builder, something like that. I don't like this whole coupe thing being in my neighborhood. Not a fan in the slightest. We've 10 turns till the end of the era. Buy a settler, and I'll be able to buy a builder in a couple of turns. Especially because I'm finishing my church, it'll be even faster. There's the stave church. There's 4 era score. That's good. So we just need 5 more era score, which I think I can do if I can finish Mahabodhi Temple in time. And with a builder and some chopping, I think we can very easily do Mahabodhi plus evangelization, which should do the trick. We only have 4 cities, but these are 4 really high quality cities in my opinion. With the exception of this one. This is an intentionally low quality city. I would like to get another settler bought before the end of this era. I think going up to 5 cities feels like a relatively good number in my opinion. And I need to be looking for the circumnavigation for next era. So one thing I need to do is to start doing this and kind of like looking diagonally down the map to see how far along I am and how close I am. And one thing that I can kind of see on both things is this circle, and I might be seeing that circle from both ends, which means I'm not too far off circumnavigating, so I'll be able to get the 5 era score from being the first person to circumnavigate in the next era. I'm getting a little bit blocked by barbarians. I'm gonna have to fall back to heal. It's annoying. Barbarian boats can be frustrating to deal with, but there's a ton of land for me to settle theoretically. Let's go ahead and pop you down there immediately. I think we always go holy site first when you have work ethic. That feels like the correct play. I really want to go for Petra. But I should also totally lock down this area here. 1, 2, 3. So I'd have to settle somewhere here. I could settle in Indonesia's face. I am going to get another golden age. It would annoy them, but I think it would be secured. And then I can settle. Yeah. I'm going to settle in their face because I just want to grab land and get a buffer city between me and them. Nice, feels good. There's games and recreation. Mahabodhi Temple is coming. Let's go ahead and faith purchase that builder. That builder should travel really quickly. Also, I have room for more traders, so that's going to have to happen. I'm probably going to go ahead and get a trader in... Well, I tell you what, if I settle this city now and get a trader in it, I can trade with the capital and get the city up and running much faster on the Petra. So I think that's the play I'm going to go for, and then gamble on the fact that maybe they won't try to block me from settling over here because I have enough faith pressure or whatever. Okay, there's mathematics, there's diplomatic quarter. We are very, very close to getting mass production in terms of technology. Our technology is going to boost up relatively high next era because we're going to go for the adjacency. My start isn't like overwhelming, but I think I'm in a position to do relatively well. Let's step here. We will chop. That'll finish the Mahabodhi Temple this turn. You come in here. I get some era score from settling desert. City is placed within 2 tiles of a natural wonder. I actually get 3 era score for that. And I think I get another era score for settling on the desert. So that's 4, 5 plus a wonder. Yeah, we're good. We're very, very good. So we'll start the Petra in here. The particular tile isn't super important, but the most important thing is that we gold purchase a trader to send to the capital so that we can get 3 food, 3 production in here and actually get this Petra in a more reasonable amount of time. They're attacking my city, that's fine. There's the Mahabodhi Temple plus 2 apostles and a bunch of era score. If I evangelize now, I will guarantee a golden age. I think I can hold my evangelization. No one else has evangelized, so there'll be tons of beliefs sitting around. I can hold the evangelization until the end of the era, and then I'll make the decision on it. I definitely want to finish my pagodas, so can I chop them out just to get them slightly faster? One thing we are going to want to get is actually Kilwa. I might make my way down to the south because I have gone for an envoy-based play. I need to get the Kilwa and mass production, so I'll start making my way down the south side of the tech tree. So I need to get to machinery for Kilwa Kisawani, and I want Kilwa Kisawani because it gives me envoys and it makes being suzerain of city-states more productive and useful for you. So we'll need to pick up a few things here. Definitely bronze working in the wheel. I want you to trade with the capital. That's 3 food, 3 production. It's an entirely land-based trade route, so it's completely safe from potential barbarian pillages because all the barbs are coastal. Your delegation is most welcome. I just need 1 era score from exploration, which I think I should be able to manage, like boosting something. It'll come from somewhere. Also, bonus meme, look at how good these tiles are, and we're not even out on the first episode. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. That's a beautiful set of tiles right there. So the same thing here in Sarpsborg. I need to go like Lighthouse Stave Church. I think I'll go Lighthouse Stave Church in that order. That seems ideal to me. I also really need to buy more boats, but you know, we're kind of strained for time. I could do an Inquisition. I don't necessarily have to fully evangelize my religion this era. I would like to get another settler. It's 150 faith. I can do that next turn. So getting out this many cities is... I totally was doing like really, really well, and then I accidentally muted myself, and so I lost a few turns of footage, but that's okay. I reloaded back to this turn, and I don't particularly remember what we were doing. Okay, we just finished a harbor in Sarpsborg. God, that is such a mess up that I accidentally muted myself and lost a bit of footage. Not to worry, we're 1 turn from finishing the pagoda, which will be quite nice. We are 1 point from picking up our golden age. I think I would like to go, let me have a little think here. I think the faith is quite important for me, so I would rather get the stave church first, and then I will go for the lighthouse, because the stave church will give +1 production to all of these coastal resource tiles, which will be perfect for me. I should, in theory, be able to buy one more. You know, if I'm doing the calculation here, let me have a little think about this. 150 faith, 3 turns. No, I would be just off. I would be just off being able to buy everything that I need to. So yeah, we just need 1 era score, which I think we will very, very easily get. I'm going to save these apostles for future era score in the next era, and I shall continue to explore down here in Coupe. Yes, your delegation is most welcome, Coupe. There's classic. Okay, so there it is. City reached 10 population. We've now reached that level that we needed to. We have bronze working as well, which should allow us. Yeah, we're already accumulating iron. I'm going to go ahead and buy this settler from Sarpsborg. It's a reasonable spot. We'll go settle here. You'll park there. Very, very happy. I totally should place the harbour in here purely to lock in the price of the district. Something a lot of people don't know about this game apparently still is when you research a technology or a civic, the price of your district goes up. However, if you have already placed the district, the price won't go up anymore. So the second that you are able to, it is probably a good idea to place a district down. I'm going to chop this tile, boom, and then immediately place the diplomatic quarter right there. And this way, the diplomatic quarter will give me +1 envoy for being next to my capital. And also, this will set me up for making my capital destination an amazing place to send trade routes to. When you build the diplomatic quarter, you get +1 production and +1 food on your trade routes to your city that has built the diplomatic quarter. So in conjunction with the government plaza and the Magnus ability, because the Magnus ability is changed in this mod, it's 2 food, 2 production for that ability, we'll be able to get 6 food, 6 production from my capital city relatively easy, relatively early into the game. When do I get my next governor title? It's next turn. That's perfect. Let's get the consulate. We want that influence. Influence is god tier. We will be focusing on getting a lot of influence. We are making a decent amount. Probably want to go monarchy this game purely just for the 50% influence boost because we're going to be a very high influence gamer. So I think that's going to be the plan. Otherwise, things are just going great. We're setting up for a circumnavigate. Now, I do have to circumnavigate carefully. I don't want to push too far on the old circumnavigation check. But yeah, you can rotate the camera if you hold down Alt and then left click. You can rotate the camera back and forth, which it has very, very limited uses. Like if you're at the bottom of the map, you can check and see over here. If you're at the bottom or the top of the map, that's really the only real use for it. Now, we did have a chariot, and I wanted to train a heavy chariot to get an envoy with Buenos Aires. However, I have future knowledge and that I know that Coupe has levied this city-state, and if I get this, it'll get me 2 era score, so I'm going to wait on that one. Also, in the city of Oslo, I would like to buy this, buy myself a builder on the cheap for faith. 1 turn until the next era, probably should have, or with gold, I should have bought it with faith. I'm going to go ahead and buy a Viking longship to continue exploring in the next era, and I'm going to do the same, essentially the same thing in Bergen, except I will buy a builder with faith, because there is a couple of fishing tiles here that are worth improving, but I can't quite afford that crab. So yeah, we want to get our fishing tiles up. Fishing tiles are super important to me. I'm going to go ahead and put this governor title into Magnus, getting him that 2 food, 2 production from the starting city, provide trade routes to this city, provide 2 food, 2 production to the starting city. So if we come back in here and we take a look at this trade route, it's now up to 6 food, 6 production. It has a 1-1 baseline, I believe. It's getting 1 from the government plaza in each, so that's 2-2. It's getting another 1 from the diplomatic quarter. That brings us up to 4. It's 1, 2, 3. So these 3 districts give 1-1. Each of these districts give 1 food, and this one gives 1 production, so that brings us up to 4, and then another 2 from Magnus. So 6 food, 6 production. This is really, really respectable. This is like working 3 2 food, 2 production hills. So super respectable, super good tiles. Absolutely worth going for. I think our next major goal is to go for machinery. We want to get Kilwa Kisawani because we're going for a high influence game where we take control of a lot of city-states, which will help us a lot in our domination victory. Now, I haven't fully decided that domination is what we want to do, but I definitely feel like going for feudalism is the correct play here because I can go for the berserker in the next era, and I should be able to purchase these with faith, so I'll be able to translate my faith economy into a potential domination of Indonesia. That's kind of the direction that I would like to take this game, is at the very least an early conquest using my unique unit and a timing attack, because I have the iron, I have the faith, I have the opportunity. Why not make use of all of those things? Right, the world enters into the medieval era, and we are going to make some serious sweeping changes to our government. So the very first thing is we're going to take a dedication. We're not going to go for monumentality again. We're going to go for free inquiry, which will give us a 10% boost to our Eurekas, which is nice. The most important part here is that Harbour District's gold adjacency bonus provides science as well. And now we can come up here, get naval tradition, double our harbour adjacency bonuses, come in here and start reaping incredible, and I mean incredible science yields. This is like worth what? Can I do this? Does that make it show it? Weird. It might not update it yet. But yeah, we're making now a really, really nice amount of science from our things, and that will only go up as we finish more and more districts. But the other sweeping change was... What was it again? Oh goodness, I've forgotten. I've forgotten what I was doing. Right. Yes. I want to buy a heavy chariot. Can I go ahead and sell some stuff? I'm going to sell off all my diplomatic favor because while I like diplomatic favor, it's not completely necessary. I will go ahead and gold purchase a heavy chariot. That will get me an envoy with Buenos Aires, which will break the Mauryan suzerainty because they had levied it, which gets me 2 era score. And then I can take suzerainty of Buenos Aires, boom, for +1 envoy, which doesn't get me era score, but that's not important. I can come in here, I can change charismatic leader to diplomatic league, boosh. I can come in here, drop an envoy in both of these city-states, and now I'm at a very healthy 2 envoys in basically every city-state, and I'm poised to get control of Singapore. What else was I going to do? I have forgotten my moves because the game crashed, or I stopped recording. Sorry, that wasn't a crash. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Now I want to make more era score because I would like to get a 3rd golden age, and I need to earn 32 era score, and a good chunk of that is going to come from religious stuff. So I'm going to evangelize both of my beliefs, and I'm also going to come in here and I'm going to faith recruit an apostle the second that I have the faith to do so. But more importantly, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose a belief. Now, World Church and cross-cultural dialogue have in fact actually been nerfed in the BBG mod. So I think it would make sense to either go for Crusade so that we could get a little bit more combat strength, or maybe Tithe or Pilgrimage. Pilgrimage feels a little bit more appropriate. I can faith buy Berserkers. Religious Unity could be quite good for free envoys. It's not that good. Papal Primacy is alright. Sacred Places is okay if I'm going to be conquering places with World Wonders. I mean, with work ethic, there is a possibility that I will have a decent number of World Wonders across a variety of cities. And if I get a variety of World Wonders, that does make this is 2 science, 2 culture, 2 gold and 2 faith for each city following this religion that has a world wonder. And I mean, some of these Indonesian cities do have world wonders, so this could actually end up being quite a decent spread of resources, which kind of makes it outpace Tithe and Pilgrimage in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and take Sacred Places, and perhaps I will yoink Crusade so that I can generate a ton of era score and combat strength from converting at war. Now that's +4 era score for doing that, and when I get another apostle, I'll get even more era score when I do my Inquisition. But the most important thing is that we are going to get started on the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus in the next episode, and then you will see the final form of these tiles truly take root, because these are only the beginning. That's going to be it for me though for this episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.